The Nigerian Meteorological Agency predicts 3-day rain and thunderstorms from Monday. Soilers Fund urges Nigerian farmers on smart investments in agriculture. Nigerian government empowers rice farmers in Ondo State to ensure food security. We will also take a glimpse about the late former President Muhammadu Buhari's agricultural policies. Good evening and welcome to Himma News at 5. I am Nunanba, Agabus Eridan. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET has predicted rain and thunderstorms from today, Monday to Wednesday across the country. NIMET's weather outlook released on Sunday in Abuja envisaged thunderstorms with moderate rains during the morning hours over parts of Kano, Jigawa, and Bauchi states. The agency envisaged cloudy skies over the southern region with prospects of light rains over parts of Anambra, Abia, Ebonyi, Bayelsa, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and Rivers, among others, during the morning hours. According to it, there are prospects of thunderstorms on Tuesday with moderate rains over parts of Adamawa, Gombe, and Kaduna states during the morning hours in the northern region. It forecasts thunderstorms with moderate rains during the afternoon or evening hours over parts of Kano, Jigawa, Sokoto, Kebbi, Gombe, Adamawa, among others. The agency anticipated moderate to heavy rains over the entire region during the afternoon or evening periods. NIMET predicted morning thunderstorms on Wednesday with rain over parts of Kano, Jigawa, Kaduna, Kebbi, Katsina, and Taraba states. NIMET urged the public to take adequate precautions as strong winds might precede the rains in areas where thunderstorms are likely to occur, and disconnect electrical appliances from electrical sockets, as well as protect their livestock during these times. Nigerian farmers have been challenged to pivot towards smart agricultural investments and high return projects, moving away from crops with lengthy gestation periods. This call to action came from the Chief Executive of Soilless Farm Lab, Samson Oboli, during his address at the BIC Soilless Concept Masterclass on Hydroponics and Agribusiness Management held in Ogun State. Oboli, a renowned advocate for modern agricultural practices, emphasized that the traditional approach to farming, often characterized by long-term crops and susceptibility to environmental vagaries, no longer offers the most viable path to sustainable profitability for many Nigerian farmers. He stressed the urgent need for a shift in mindset, urging farmers to adopt a more business-oriented perspective that prioritizes efficiency, rapid turnover, and consistent income generation, and highlighted the significant potential of cultivating vegetables through controlled environments, particularly greenhouses, as a prime example of a high-return venture. Obole elaborated on the numerous advantages of greenhouse cultivation, including protection from unpredictable weather patterns, pests, and diseases, which often decimate open-field crops. He noted that the controlled environment of a greenhouse allows for optimal growing conditions, leading to higher yields, superior produce quality, and the ability to cultivate crops year-round, irrespective of the season. It is no longer news the demise of Nigeria's former President Muhammadu Buhari, who died at a London clinic on Sunday. Muhammadu Buhari, whose death was made public by his spokesperson Garba Shehu, has contributed largely to the revitalization of agricultural activities in the country while in office. His well-known call, Akumaguna, which was a call for Nigerians to stop relying solely on petrol or white-collar jobs, rang in every corner of the country, hence his policy of diversifying the economy through agriculture.
Allow people to get access to the farms. As I said, we just have to go back to the land. What we have done so far, as I said, we have achieved some successes, and people ought to measure our successes vis-a-vis the problems when we started. But the important thing is this: the farms produce machinery and so on, tractors and so on. I think we need to appreciate what we have done with what we have within the time we have been here.
To follow his words of empowering farmers to buttress his call to farming with action, the late president introduced the Anchor Borrowers Program to achieve economic diversification through agriculture.
20 years ago, the first center of sky-high pyramids of rice harvests were showcased in Argungu, Kebbi State, which was followed by another set in Minna, Niger State, about a year ago. And barely 3 months later, in Zoro, Kebbi State, rice pyramids were again unveiled. Later, in May 2021, the Central Bank of Nigeria unveiled the first rice pyramid in the southwest of Nigeria in Ado Ekiti, Ekiti State. Those events were historic, as first, they remind us of our yesteryear's agricultural commodity pyramids, such as the groundnut pyramids in Kano, and secondly, they symbolize that we can produce what we eat. The significance of today's occasion can be better understood by looking at the various economic strides the administration has achieved through agriculture. When we assumed the reins of leadership of this country in 2015, the administration identified the Anchor Borrowers Program as an essential policy instrument for achieving economic diversification through agriculture. To achieve this, the Anchor Borrowers Program was designed to encourage investments in agriculture and empower smallholder farmers as drivers of transformation in the agricultural sector and as critical enablers of economic growth. I am indeed delighted that the Anchor Borrowers Program continues to receive commendations since its introduction 6 years ago, as it has become one of the reference points in the administration's agricultural revolution effort. In fact, the program speaks loudly in its giant strides as it has increased access to finance by our rural farmers who, before now, were virtually excluded from the financial system. The Anchor Borrowers Program has so far supported over 4.8 million smallholder farmers across Nigeria for the production of 23 agricultural commodities, including maize, rice, oil palm, cocoa, cotton, cassava, tomato, and livestock. Today, rice production in Nigeria has increased to over 7.5 million metric tons annually. Prior to the introduction of Anchor Borrowers Program, the average production in Nigeria between 1999 and 2015 was less than 4 metric tons annually. I am aware that the bags of payday will be moving straight from here to rice milling plants across Nigeria, which will lead to the release of processed rice to the markets by the rice millers. The measure will aid our efforts at reducing the price of rice in Nigeria. Before this administration launched the Anchor Borrowers Program, there were only 15 standard rice mills in Nigeria. As at today, we have over 50 standard and integrated rice mills, creating jobs and reducing unemployment. We expect additional significant output when 2 new mills are started in Lagos and Katsina.
That was the late president at the unveiling of Mega Rice Pyramid in Abuja on January 18, 2022. The late Muhammadu Buhari's quest to see that the country's economy was diversified through agriculture did not start during his democratic leadership, as even during his military government while serving as the country's head of state, he had introduced some key agricultural policies such as war against indiscipline in agriculture, support for farming communities, promotion of local rice and grains, among others. Some of his policies, programs, and institutional reforms for agricultural purposes during his democratic leadership were the Anchor Borrowers Program, Presidential Fertilizer Initiative, Green Imperative Program, National Livestock Transformation Plan, Nigeria's agricultural promotion policy nicknamed as the Green Alternative, the controversial land border closure, the special agro-industrial processing zones (SACZs), and youth and women in agriculture initiatives. All this was to ensure that Nigeria feeds herself and trade her food internationally. May his soul rest in Jannatul Firdaus. Please stay tuned for more story. Thank you for staying with us. Still on former President Muhammadu Buhari's agricultural policies, a professor and former vice chancellor at the Aliko Dangote University of Science and Technology, Wudil, Shehu Alhaji Musa, said that Nigerians will live to remember late Nigerian former President Muhammadu Buhari, especially farmers, because of the healthy agricultural policies he introduced while in office. Shehu Alhaji Musa said the late Buhari was consumed by his desire to see the success of Nigerian farmers and to ensure that the nation was food secure. While speaking to Himma representative Abdullahi Sani Dogwa, the professor expressed his deep sorrow over the demise of the former president and prayed for his soul to be with his maker.
Of agriculture transformation. He provided the necessary enabling environment for agriculture to thrive. He has introduced a number of reforms and policies aimed at transforming and galvanizing agriculture. For instance, the Anko Baroa scheme was introduced by his administration aimed at providing financial succor to all farmers across different value chain. NISAL has been enhanced by his administration. The provision of agricultural input has also been enhanced. The necessary environment has been provided, especially for the establishment of rice processing plants, which have been established in various states of the Federation. His diversification drive was largely towards agriculture. The issue of food import restriction and the enhancement of local production have yielded desired dividend.
Professor Shehu Musa urged Nigerian farmers to keep the late former president's legacy by diligently working on their farms and livestock to fulfill his desire of having a food-secure Nigeria and condoled his family and Nigerians for the irreplaceable loss. In a significant boost to agricultural productivity in Ondo State, the federal government has empowered 400 rice farmers with free herbicides under President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda on agriculture. The distribution exercise, held under the supervision of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, marks a key milestone in the administration's commitment to supporting farmers and strengthening food security nationwide. Speaking during the event in Akure, Akim Ogundeko, the Ondo State coordinator of the ministry, emphasized that the initiative aligns with the New Hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, aimed at ensuring farmers gain access to critical inputs at highly subsidized rates or even free. Ogundeko said the herbicide, which would be used to combat weeds, one of the most pressing challenges in rice cultivation, was provided to farmers across various local government areas in the state. Speaking with newsmen at the event, Abayomi Monilari, the president of the Ondo State Farmers Congress and chairman of AFAN in the state, expressed heartfelt appreciation to the federal government for what he described as timely intervention. According to Monilari, the soaring cost of farm chemicals and other inputs has made farming increasingly difficult for many local farmers, adding that the gesture from the ministry is a clear signal that the government is responsive to the needs of farmers and is determined to support them. And now, to end the news, here are the headlines once again. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency predicts 3-day rain and thunderstorms from Monday. Soilless Farm urges Nigerian farmers on smart investments in agriculture. Nigerian government empowers rice farmers in Ondo State to ensure food security. On behalf of the Himma News and Current Affairs Department, I am Agabus Eridan. Many thanks for listening.